Hello, welcome back to Derail Valley with Freddy. I've got my DH4 over here. I'm going to give it a quick service. I thought I'd show you on camera, so you know I'm not trying to cheat it. Not that I would. There we go. Nice, quick, easy 5 grand, well 6 grand service. So that's our DH4 all set up, ready to go. Now, I'm going to have to pull this forward. Right forward, because it won't fit. That's why I selected gear first. It won't fit with the DH6 on the turntable. Because that's just the way it is. Pull it quite far forward, and as it's hitting night, I was thinking we could run up to City West with that other train. Just switch that off there. Save the fuel. That one there. Wrong way, as I usually do. So we need one of these DH6s because we need power. Power's going to make us money. So first things first, you take the handbrake off. Because this is a new to us DH4. Electric's on. Traction motor and starter. Fire it up. Take a little bit for the reservoirs to build, but we can speed that up by applying some throttle. Uses a bit more diesel, but saves us waiting 5 years to actually get it started. Dash lights, that'll help. I tend to leave this one just on dash lights. Gonna burn a little bit of fuel, but I think it's worth it. Save just sitting leaving it idle. Should be enough for us. Wait for the RPMs to drop. Kick it into gear. Don't want to go too fast. That's what my plan is. Double check that's actually on. Yep, she's on. What I was thinking originally was re-rail that to behind this, but I actually need to turn the turntable first. What's the bet? I've gone too far. Yep. There we go. Right, so we actually need to pay to re-rail this one. As I fall in the turntable. So how much is it going to cost me to put it behind? Why won't it let me put it? It's going to cost 4,000 to put it there. Then we can reverse back, get it, pull forward and connect to the DH4. Yeah, I think that's worth it. Now we can tow it home. We've got to do this manually. So as I've stated before, I do not have a remote for this one. nice and slow. And I've got to figure out the controls for that steam engine because they're not something I use. Or not something I have used yet. Hopefully we can get air to it. Right, let's jump in. See if we can figure this thing out. There's lots of actionable buttons out here. Ooh. Ooh, funky. Right. Handbrake off. I have no idea what half of this is. With the handbrake off, because it's all knackered anyway, we should be able to pull it. Yep, there we go. Sounds so healthy, that, doesn't it? Ooh. Ooh. Don't want to collide hard into our DH4. Little brake cut out. And if I can find it. There we go. Fuel cut off. And we'll be using this thing full time, so it's worth hooking it up properly. Right, we're ready to get up to City South. I don't think there's any jobs going that way. Just double check because it's always worth it. So if there's a little job, why not get paid for it? So I'll do that quickly. If not, we'll just get up there. Right, there is actually a job to City South. Haul empty cars to B4S. Okay. That was surprising. It usually isn't. So from G1S to B4S. So G yard is here. We're currently here. So it'd be pretty straight reverse. City South. Do I want to do it though? Yeah, because we could pull in, drop off, pull forward, reverse back, then pull in. Yeah, I think it's going to be worth it. So it was going to B4S. It's going to be a keep left, B4S, drop off there. Hopefully it's empty. We don't have to fly through, reverse back, which would, knowing me, would be my luck. Right, so I shall see you when this is all hooked up. See you in a minute. Okay, so we're all hooked up, and looks like it's just starting to rain as well, so that's perfect, and especially as we're not carrying a lot of weight. I'll leave this rolling, head down, hand the job in, rejoin the train, and we shall get up to City South. We'll do a time lapse of getting up there and stop it just as we hit the turntable. So I may as well get paid for doing this. Yep, City South. Recharge up the wireless remote on the move. Right, I shall see you up there. So we're back, heading into the museum now. As you saw, they dropped that job off, nice 7,000, so that's well and easily covered our diesel cost for doing this. And run it all on the DH4, which is awesome. And we just got to get positioned on the turntable, get this thing turned around, and drop the 2A2 in position. Pay for its parts, hook up the 2 utility cars and head back to harbour. We're going to wait for daytime. Hopefully it'll have stopped raining by then. No guarantees, obviously. Where does the 2A2, oh, the S6440 goes straight ahead. Wow, awesome. Oh, whoa, brake. Oh, I think we've just made that. Look at that. Little bit to spare. We should get that turned around. Oh, especially with these headlights. Oof. Right. Save a bit of battery. Round we shall go. Not going to bother servicing whilst we're here. I don't see the point. We've used practically nothing to get here. We'll be having a look. Hopefully jobs will respawn after we have a little nap. There we go. Into reverse. The idea behind this currently is so that we can not just start repairing. It's the right one, isn't it? A 660-440. No, it's the freaking wrong one. I do this every time. I don't look at the arrow on the board. That's just a general storage one. Fail me. me fail. The reason I knew it was that is because when you reverse it in, it tells you, right, now go over to the computer and buy your parts. Yeah, the plan is to do up the museum DH6 when we have sufficient funds to do so. There we go. So I guess it's in now. And I'll stop about there. Switch to Ford. Jump in here. Handbrake is there. I like to put the handbrake on, that way they don't roll and derail. I don't want them to. Now you may remember we've already paid for the DH6 replacement engine, so we don't need to worry about that. I'm going to need to pull forward a touch. So I'm not worried about the battery level, because by the time we get back to harbour, this thing will be fully recharged. What I'm going to have to do, because the whole utility car and that will not fit, on the turntable with the engine and everything, I'm going to pull the engine in that Ford and use the utility car's engine to pick up its car, or its train piece, which is over here, and then drive out, then hook it up to the back of the DH6. So, fairly simple and straightforward. Whilst we're doing that, I don't see the point having that running. I may as well. Apparently likes to set off the horn. Is there a horn there? Apparently there is. So if I can set that off. Car's here. So we'll get the turntable turned. Whoa! Why is that drifted backwards with the brake on? I don't like that. And the brake's not on. Oh! We're in reverse. Don't want to be in reverse. We've just derailed the DE6. Right. Only me. Only I can do this repeatedly. So hopefully looks like I've derailed both of them. Excellent. No? Apparently not. That looks derailed to me. What has happened? That's looking on the rails. So what on earth is going on? I'm confused. handbrake on, that's why. Right. That's why it wasn't moving. Yeah. So I haven't derailed anything, just thought I had. I'm awesome, mate. Having a massive day of absolute failures. Right, pull this a lot further forward. And oh my word, it is absolutely chucking it down. That on. Got the fuel. That should be plenty of room. Right. Onto this. There we go. Cowboys, yay. Right, forward gear. Go for second. Handbrake off. Shut the doors. Because it's noisy. Give it a little bit of juice. Remember, the brake on this thing is freaking sharp. I didn't wait for the air to build up, did I? Handbrake. Handbrake, where's what? I've not put the brake out, have I? That's why. Always forget something. I think this is our utility car. Yep, utility short flat car. So we've got to go a long way round. In fact, can we just be lazy? Oh, it's going to cost us £5 for that. No. No. Not spending that money. Yes, I'm tight. I don't care. The amount of money I've had to spend out due to my accident, I think you can understand why I'm tight. So this looks up just like everything else. It's got its own handbrake. Into forward. good thing is once we've got it hooked up, we can switch off most of this and tow with everything else. Oh, that rain is noisy. Especially in here. The annoying thing within here is the track is wet in here, even though it's a shedded repair area. The track inside is wet when it's raining, which to me makes no sense, but that's what it is. It's something we have to deal with currently. You see the rain just really appear. There's lovely graphics of this rain. I do love it. Change that to neutral. Of course it's going to stop just short. I hate you. There we go. Neutral. Neutral. Don't cut out. Disable the lights, so we don't need them anymore. Take the cab lights off as well. Get the fuel cut out. It's a bit weird how they attach with the train on an angle, but it does work. There we go, now we're not quite as far under, the rain just sounds normal. Right, we've already seen there isn't any jobs going back to the harbour, so we shall just head back to the harbour and I shall see you down there. See you in a minute. Okay, so we're down at harbour. I've had a quick sort through the jobs. There's one that's massively caught my eye, this lovely unload one for 60,000. It's one pickup and drop off in 2 locations. That is a horrendous amount of money. So I think we will be doing that before we go anywhere. But having a look, there's a big job. Hazmat 2, Long 2, Fragile 1, 78,000 up to the food factory. Unfortunately, we're wanting to go to machine factory. I know we need money, but food factory is out. I mean, there's over 150,000, maybe close to 200,000 worth of work there. Now, Iron Ore Mine West is beyond machine factory, but it is a long loop back round to come back down to Harbour or City South. So unfortunately, that one's out, which leaves us with this lot. Now we've got 2 jobs going to machine factory. Perfect. C3I, C4I. Beautiful. 198 tonnes and 332 tonnes. Beautiful. We do that on just the DH4. 1 job going to farm. Well, we could technically, from at harbour, swing through farm up to machine factory. Yeah. There's one going to steel mill, but unfortunately steel mill's right up there, and we'd have to reverse back, swing round, or we'd have to swing up, reverse in, to then come out, go back through farm. I just think that's a lot of work for that drop off, and it's 429 tonnes. I think we make better money and better time doing that one. And there's also one going to sawmill. I could drop the farm, take the sawmill. The sawmill pays less. So it really leaves us this one. Do this shunt job, hook up this lot. Yeah, I think that's going to be the way forward. So I'm going to quickly get this shunt job done. I'll do it off camera and just show you the hand in. Because we can refuel, repair up at Machine Factory. Let me just work out the weights and lengths of this so we can figure out what we're going to be. So 108.27, 122.39, 75.58, would be 198, 332, 130 plus our utility car and trailer, and I can't remember the weights off the top of my head on them. The alternate way to find out the weights, other than looking in the book, run over, you'll see the utility car is 10,000 kilograms, so that's 10 ton? Yep, 10 ton. The flat car is 3.6. So not a lot of weight. Those will obviously change as we load them at Machine Factory, but we can deal with that when we get there. So, working out our weights. Well, let's work out our length first, because that's currently what's on my calculator. So, plus 108.27, plus 122.39, plus 75.58, plus 9.1, find out what the utility car is, plus 14.4, so that gives us 370 meters. So not a ridiculous length. Weights 77.5 plus 125 D6 plus 198 plus 332 plus 130 plus 10 plus 3.6, 876.1 tons. So we will need the D6 for getting up there. It's not a big issue. I think that is the way forward, and as it is now starting to dry up, I'll check the weather forecast to see if it's going to remain dry. It would be nice to do a nice daytime run. Bit of fog at 3 o'clock, past the rain. Yeah, I think that's going to be the way forward. Do this first, get a nice payday from that, because that'll help us towards getting out the museum D6. I'll get my words together at some point. So I'll get this done off camera. I shall show you it being handed in, then we'll get the train all hooked up and ready to go and go from there. All right, see you soon. I'll jump back in early. I've just hooked up to our big city bus to actually get this shunt job started. I'm just going to set it off, but I've just spotted something hiding in the harbour. It's our S22730. So we found another museum piece. We've got 2 left to find now. Excellent. So this is another one we can look at getting re-railed and hauled up to the factory. The big steam. Look at the length of this thing. Right, I shall see you when this is all unloaded, dropped off, and ready for hand in. I shall see you shortly. Right, that's everything dropped off. Back to the office to hand the job in and get paid a frickin' fortune. Because, yes please. Need to rebuild our money up. Especially if we're going to rebuild this DE6 as well. Won't be taking the other museum piece just yet. 91,000 for doing that. Thank you very, very much. 477. Right, those eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed I forgot to buy the part for our other engine. So I'm going to quickly teleport up to City South, buy that, come down, set all this train up, and we'll be ready to go. Right, back again in a minute. Welcome back. I've not hooked the train up yet because silly me forgot when you teleport away to somewhere else and come back, the job's reset. So as you can see there, we paid 15,000 for the boiler unit for that train, which awesome. So that's up at Machine Factory waiting for us to collect. So we have a new list of jobs. We have nothing now going to Machine Factory. Boo. But what we do have, that is hard to pass up. 104,000 up to Iron Mine West. I know I said it's out of the way, but really, can we turn down a job at that price? That's going to be 150,000 if we make it in time. 53,000 for hauling empty cars into the farm. Why, spank you very much. Then we can reverse back, go up to Forest Central, drop off there for this one for 33,000, hang a left out of Forest Central, up through Machine Factory, pick up our parts, out the other side, and up to Mine West. I think this is going to have to be the new, and that's about 200,000 worth of jobs. That's really going to pay the bills. So I think this is the way. So I'm going to pick up this one first, this one second, and this one last. I don't think we're going to need the flags, so we'll drop them off there. Yeah, so that's going to be the first to drop off, that's going to be the second, that's going to be the third. We're definitely going to need the DE6 because that's over 1,000 tons on its own. I've not worked out the weights yet. I will sort that, and this is going to be more towards a night run now, unfortunately, by the time I get this all hooked up. So I shall see you when we're connected. And welcome back. Train's finally all hooked up. It extends all the way over there and goes all the way up here. We'll take you to the front because I've got to hand the jobs in. This is not the heaviest train we've pulled. It's only 1,436.1 tons without the parts we're going to pick up. But by that point we will have shed most of the weight of this train, so that's not going to be an issue. However, it is the longest train we have pulled at 792.01 meters. Now we have fuel in the DH4. Not great, but the bonus is by the time we've dropped off in Farm and Forestry Central, we'll have lost the majority of the weight. We run out of fuel in the DH4, so be it, we can use the DE6 at that point on its own. So we have options, and the DE6 has not been used yet, it's not even been turned on. So, job. 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 Nice, easy. This is going to be a lot of money. Right, let's... In fact, I don't want to get it rolling, so I need to turn the DE6 on, because we're going to need power to get out of here. So what I'm going to do is put this down for a charge. Start the DE6 up. Yes. And I want headlights, tail lights, and we are ready. And away we shall go. I shall see you when we reach Machine Factory. Enjoy the time lapse. Right, you join me in Forest Central. As you can see, we've had some issues. I'm just going to switch this off for a minute, try and save what little fuel we have left. The E6 is about half fuel. I'll tell you what, I will turn that off for a sec. We are going to have to use station D2 to assist us. It's not ideal, but you've got to do what you've got to do. Build that brake pressure up. I'm not going to make that mistake again. As you saw, probably noticed in farm, we had a bit of an accident. Smashed into some empty trains, so we've damaged our DH4. That's going to cost me. What our plan here is, I'm going to attach the D2 to the back of the forestry cars there, move them into C1I initially, reverse my train out, pull forward with the D2, park it up, hand the job in. That is the plan. Oh, let's get some air pressure. I want to get this done sooner rather than later. There we go. So thankfully there's generally a way to attack these things. If you can think your way around a problem. Hopefully the back of the train is actually all the way in and not sticking out, because otherwise we're in serious problems. It looks like we're good with that. Just. I do mean just. As you saw, we had problems getting up the hill as well. Let's back up and give it another attack and apply plenty of sand to keep her going. It's just one of those things that's one of the steepest hills on the map, so I was anticipating problems. Just wasn't anticipating that many problems. Same as if this isn't enough, I may be able to detach our DH4 and reattach and use it remote controlled to give us some assistance. That's a little quick. Back to the old days of running the DE2. I can't remember how heavy this job is. 216 tons, yeah. D2 should be able to handle that. Right, let's run forward. Detach this. Thankfully we haven't got to go too far with it to get it past the C1 point. But it's just extra time. We're going to have to refuel the D4 at Machine Factory when we get there. So, yeah, this is going to be fun to try and gauge this. Alright, into forward. Tell you now, this is not going to like it, because this is not what this is designed for. But it's the best of what we've got, and that's all we can deal with. not going to be able to see this. So this is going to be purely guesswork. It's going to be move it a bit, run back, move it a bit more, potentially. Just so we can get our train out. Once we can get our train out, we can reposition this. Oh, look at that. As if I'd done it by design. Alright, so now we can back this bad boy. The challenges we face, eh? We only need to go as far back as to clear that signal so we can get our train out. Then we need to clear our train. Oh, this is actually handling it quite well. Got the power there, we don't need to be going super fast round here. It is a 30. As long as we can clear the signal, which we should be able to do without crashing into our train. I hope. Please don't crash into our train. Think that should do it there. Right, just thought I'd show you this. We've not cleared it, damn it. Right, let's have a look how much room we got at the back. Got a bit. Oh, this is going to be tight. In fact, what I could do, create a bit more room, back our train up. I think I'll use just the DE6 for this. Not sure if we're going to get it far enough back. We can try. Let's get out here and have a look. I don't want to be crashing into anything. Car length. Is that going to be enough, or is it not going to be enough? That's not even going to be close. Right, well, going to have to try it unless the fog's rolled in as well. Oh, joys of this. the speed down. Oh, don't say that's rain as well. It's the last thing we need. That'll do, that'll do, that'll do. That's clear. Come on, let me out. That's the D6 has got more fuel, that's why I'm wanting to use it. How close did we get? We got close. Right. Blew the traction motor on this thing a couple of times, so that'll cause some repairs. Get the museum D6, but we need to get it kitted out as well. So as you see, we're at 542 at the moment. My plan is to put this on the exit line. It's not the exit line is going to be B. Don't want to be going super fast. Right, let's put this over by the station. Take a little bit. Yep, that's rain. Not what we need, but at least we're much lighter now. And this load we're carrying is only 588, so it could be much worse. I struggle to see where we are now. I think that's the line there we need for B, and we want B to be the straight through, so it's keep right, keep left. Hopefully, step out for a sec. Yeah, I think that is, because we're going to need this space. Can I control this train with DH4? I think I can. Yes, we can. So we can control it without even the DH4 on. Excellent. That's good news. Woo. Go back enough. Over there is the one we need. So we need to go back till that line joins us. It's going to be difficult to see because we can't see diddly. It's that line. It's the only problem when the fog rolls in this game. It really messes up your vision. Dropping speed because the downhill is now an uphill. We should have enough momentum to do this. a signal. Wherever that is. There it is. That should be as clear of it. Right. Nice that we can control the D6 from this train. So I've lost 216. One, two. So our train is about that now. I think that should do us. We'll stop the D6 once we come to an actual stop, just to save fuel because we are running low. Right, now we need to get this train. It's going to be harder in the wet now. To watch that wheel slip. Wheel slip is a red button there. Where's me wipers? There we go. With this thing again. Thankfully that train should be completely out of our way now. We'll keep the speed down just in case. Braking in the wet is not as easy. Have we cleared enough? No. 3 more cars to go to get clear. Right. Apologies for this. But this is part of the fun. We've been having a very challenging time of late. I think once I've got this episode fully recorded, I'm going to take a break from Derail Valley for a couple of days, recharge my batteries, and hopefully improve my luck. There we go, there's the back of the other train, so we've definitely got it out the way. Right, that should definitely do it. So what's that? It's braking. Back up here and we can finally get this position. Thankfully we don't need to drop the DE2. We do need to get this all the way in. It's absorbing time. It's also absorbing time for the iron ore mine job, which is not what we want. Thankfully we can give this a bit of welly. Watching me ammeter there. Obviously we'll incur some fees for using this, but that was me not looking at the proper station layout, because otherwise it would have been an attempt to try and turn around somewhere and reverse this in, which would have been a frickin' nightmare. Right, which side? I think it's on this side. A sign for the lane. Yes, it is. Start getting some braking on. Watch the speed at the same time. Brakes, because I think we want to go a bit further. And that should be all she wrote. Fuel cut out. Handbrake on. Handbrake on the load. That's this one. Hopefully. Yes. Thank you. 592. Right, let's get out of here. I think for the moment we'll just run the DE6. We'll start the DH4 if we need to. Right. So I'll start another time lapse and we'll see you up at Machine Factory. Factory, pulling into 1L to load up the parts for our D6 and the 282. I'm just going to come up here a little bit, start applying the brake now. This is going to be a literal stop and go. So if we pop back here, you can see the weight of this now. The boiler is another 6 tons, and the D6 engine is 16 tons. Nice. Right, let's get out of here. That's Iron Ore Mine West. Just check on what our fuel level is actually on the D6. Half, yeah, we've got plenty. Right, let's get out of here. Right, I shall see you up there. short haul. Alright. Don't worry about getting this train stopped. Make sure it's all in first. That there should do nicely. Right. Turn off the D6 for now. And brake it on. And this is the most well-paying job. The only big question is, have we made the time bonus? Having it is not the end of the world. 104,000 just for this job. Oh. The question is, have we made the time? We have 156,000. Nice. How much to unload that? Nearly 40,000. Oh, that's a big old. I think I know what we're doing next. 1,200 tons down to the steel mill. Wow, wow, wow. Train heads. I don't know actually. I don't know. Though it's 60,000, it's nearly another 80,000. So we're going to be ending on 748,000. So we've done really well in such a short space of time to earn back all that money I lost. So, right, I shall leave it here for now. Have a little break, have a little think of what we're going to be doing next, and I shall see you guys next time. Till then, take it easy.